Manning Elevator wants to know, how do I use Twitter search for something as unique as elevators?
That's a good question. I love talking about Twitter search, something we haven't talked about in a long time. I think Twitter search is the most interesting functionality in Twitter, maybe besides video replies, which I've been knocking out of the park. I think that's a tough one. First of all, is it elevator repairs? Are they selling elevators? Like, what are they doing? To me, Twitter search is amazing, but there's clearly certain very narrow niche things that may not over-index in that environment. I see India's doing some work to try to figure this out. If you're doing elevator repair or selling elevators, Twitter's not going to be the most fertile grounds of people being like, I don't feel like I'm building a building right now as a developer in 2015.
They make them and they do the upkeep.
Yeah, they make them and upkeep it. I don't think these developers in today's day and age, maybe in 20 years, something like Twitter, but I don't think a developer's like, hey, building a building, wondering what to do with the elevator. I think you're better off going into the content game, maybe creating an infographic of like 7 unknown facts of elevator upkeep, and then making that a slide share and a Pinterest pin, and then directing it into LinkedIn and running ads against the people that make those decisions at developer firms. So I don't think Twitter search is probably worth your while. I think the other thing you could do if you decide to make a very heavy consumer-facing brand, I think the one white space for B2B people is to make really intriguing videos that aren't boring, that could create general awareness, right? I think general awareness, when you think about Intel, it's a chip, right? But there's general awareness around it, and then you start looking for it. There may be a play where you make videos that are, whether they're funny, whether they're intriguing, thought-provoking, emotional, videos for B2B companies that create mass awareness that then allude to, we're sitting in a room as developers and saying, we're building out the scope, and of course we're looking at RFPs and RFIs and looking at like the costs, but having our brand top of mind is good to even get into that play, and that's branding versus sales. Twitter search is a non-recommended play in June 3rd. Is it June 3rd? On June 3rd, 2015, for elevator manufacturers and service providers. Not a recommendation. No.